Okay, let's start our measurement unit with some measurement basics. Okay, so we have two systems, the metric and imperial. Okay, so metric would be most of Canada. When we talk about centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, in weight, we can talk about kilograms or grams or liters. In volume, so those types of things are in metric. And in imperial, we would have things like inches, feet, yards. In weight, we would talk about pounds, gallons, if we wanted to talk about some volume. Okay, so those are differences in systems of measurement. Okay, so I have a ruler here. So this is the metric system on the top here. So centimeters, millimeters. So if I wanted to draw 8 centimeters, okay, that would be a measure of 8 centimeters. If I wanted to do 11.2 centimeters, I would go 11 and then 2 more little tick marks. So that would be 11.2 centimeters. Okay, if I wanted to do 67 millimeters, so in every centimeter there's 10. So 67 would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 millimeters, and then I go 7 more. So 67 millimeters. Okay, so if I wanted to think about this in millimeters, 8 centimeters, that would be 80 millimeters. And if I wanted to think about that in millimeters, it's just timesing by 10. So 112 millimeters. And this, if I wanted to do this in centimeters, I would just divide by 10. Okay, so it's all, the metric is always increments of 10 base. Okay, so 10 millimeters in a centimeter. There's 100 centimeters in a meter. There's 1,000 meters, right, in a kilometer, that type of thing. Always bases of 10. So let's talk about the imperial by flipping our ruler here. So inches. So if I did 2.5 inches, I would go like this to 2, and then I would see a half is right here. Okay. Your decimals are really only used if you can do your quarter, halves, 3/4. So 3 1/4 would be right here. If I did 1 3/4, you can see that this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. You have to visualize chunks of 4 there. Okay. Otherwise, when we talk about inches, we often can even break down into fractions of 16ths or 8ths. Okay? So if I wanted to do let's go 4 and 15/16 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go 4. Okay, now see from 4 to 5 there's 16 little tick marks. There's 16. So if I go 15, that would be right here. It'd be one less than going all the way. 3 3/8. Okay, so 3. So now 3/8. So now when I look at eighths, I'm looking at this as 1, 2, 3. This would be 4/8. Do you see that? Because that's a half. So I'm looking at not the small, but every medium size one would be an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eighths, right? So 1 and let's go 9/16. Okay, so how would I measure that? I would go to 1, and now I would know halfway is 8/16, so that's right here, halfway, so 9 is one more small tick. So this is important in construction because everything gets measured in imperial.